or waiting for the last one? Facebook, there it is. Okay, so now we are going live. Thank you again for tuning in for another Tuesday night. Sorry we missed last week. We were going to do this one last week, but COVID was really fucking with things, which we'll get to that, I'm very, very sure. But in case you don't know, I'm Andrew. We've been joined, as always, by the lovely Nikki. So say hi out there, Nikki.
Hi out there, Nikki.
And our special guest tonight is Tom, who is in all sorts of projects, but most notably Metal United Down Under is what we're focusing on in tonight's broadcast. As always, hit the links in the description of this for more information on all the things we're talking about here. And feel free to leave any comments or thoughts or questions as we go along, and I'll try and interject with those wherever I can. But there's a whole lot of links. Go and check them out and get involved. Let's have some fun. So now, without any further ado, Nikki, take it away.
All right. Tom, as a man who wears many hats, and you do wear many hats, we're gonna try and get to quite a few of them tonight. I'm surprised you'd want to wear a hat with such fucking banging hair. But
I never wear hats.
Metaphorical hats. For the people at home that might not be totally clued in, give us an example of some of the projects you're involved with, because we're definitely keen as a bean to talk about a few of them tonight.
Yeah. So obviously I play in band and Venomed, and then on the side of that I've got Black Roos Entertainment, which is the agency I run with my mate Michael Luders from Sydney. We've got our own agency running, booking agency for like Australian and international bands as well. So have a couple of rosters there, and also managing a few things too. And Michael does a lot of PR too and stuff like that, which is cool. And then projects, we've got like Metal United Down Under Festival and Worldwide Festival. So pretty much what that is Metal United Down Under is a festival that takes place. It's just gigs all over Australia on the same night, on the same date, on the same poster kind of deal. So it's pretty much just bringing the whole community together as one on the same night, on the same bill, and just celebrating, the music we love. And yeah, Metal United Worldwide is the same thing, but over 50 plus countries over the world, which Michael mainly does. Yeah.
So sick. Now I've got a confession to make, Tom. Please don't call the police on me. I have something. I stole it, and I'm not ashamed. And you can't have it back. I'm sorry.
The Wagga Wagga, was it?
That was the Wagga Wagga one. I went on a road trip with my beautiful friend Wayne, and I'm pretty sure I gave this gig of the year in 2018. It was fucking the best thing ever, which leads me wonderfully to this year. So you've given us a slight heads up. So Metal United Down Under is happening literally around Australia, except Melbourne, and we'll get to that in a bit. June the 12th, you have shows going on in Canberra, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Adelaide, Darwin, Perth, Broken Hill, and Port Pirie. I'm hoping I haven't forgotten anything.
I think you did a few. That's all good.
That was off my note.
I swear I probably forgot to send you some too.
Sydney, hang on with Sydney. We said Newcastle.
Yep.
Stoner Riffs edition. We're so going to talk about that. Perth. Did I say Perth? I think I did.
I can't remember now.
Anyway, it's fucking insane. So Broken Hill, Sydney, Darwin, Perth, Port Pirie, Newcastle, Adelaide, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Canberra, and at some point, hopefully, Melbourne.
Yep.
How much does it do your head in trying to organise all these shows across the country? Because, mate, I can't even organise one. That does my head in.
It's hard work, especially now that it's coming up to the date. It's hard work. And, of course, with the COVID issues we're having at the moment, it's really hard work, adjusting shows. And we had a lot of issues with the latest Melbourne outbreak, which we'll talk about later, I guess. Yeah. But we're lucky enough to have some reliable promoters, like in a few cities like Port Pirie and Perth, who do all that kind of stuff. So we've got Dan from Port Pirie, who always does a massive show. Andrew in Perth, and then in Darwin too, we've got another promoter. So I think I'm doing like 6 of them, this 5 or 6, and I don't know. Yeah. You lose count, but it's hard work. But I guess it's all worth it in the end of the day. It's all fun.
Does it kill you? Because it would kill me that they're all on the same day and scattered across the country. like it must suck that you couldn't personally go and attend everyone, because every lineup, like all of them are fucking spectacular.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I should probably make one the best, so I want to go to that one, but I just end up making them all as good as I possibly can, and I want to go to them all, but it's always hard. But we're just got to make sure I have mates everywhere that go to them, and then get some good reviews, and it makes me happy.
If I had a brain and a bit of planning, but I guess I didn't know what was going to happen in Melbourne, guess where I'd be going?
Yeah.
Broken Hill.
Fuck yeah. Holy shit.
I love their latest album.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I love Snake White Whiskey, who you've got on the Gold Coast now. It's like I love Tempest. I fucking love them all. It's like I want to go to them all.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider doing a I don't know, like a film version where you could pay per view some of the ones around the country at a later date if you couldn't obviously attend them all? Yeah,
well, especially last year being more COVID. We only had 4 last year because we had to cancel a bunch, but we did one live stream show in Sydney. But that would have been cool. It's a good idea to do some live stream even, and then you can stream it at a later date, I guess. That would be pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Were you a little bit gun shy after COVID last year? It's already fucking messed with you. This year, obviously, you had some real impacts due to COVID. Not only the Melbourne show being postponed, but you've also had bands that couldn't go interstate and ones that couldn't come from state. So it's been quite shuffling of the cards for you. Were you nervous about putting it on this year because of what you've been through?
Oh, at the end of the day, there's nothing to lose. I mean, it's a lot of work that we're losing if something goes tits up, but we just got to do our best. There's no point not trying. You can just aim for the best, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then we'll just have to push it back again. But obviously this year, last minute, it happened last week or whatever it was, it turned to shit, but still all good. We're going ahead with everything, and Melbourne will still happen, just a bit of a later date, but it's all worth the wait, I guess, and here's what it is.
Yeah, that's a very positive attitude.
Sorry, just gonna jump in quickly. How have the bands sort of been on the flip side of things? It's hard for a promoter, but how do you think the bands have felt, committing to things like this, and how hard has it been to get them to do that?
I found especially like booking shows late last year, I went straight out of it. Lockdowns, I did, probably one of the first metal shows back in Melbourne after the lockdown. A lot of bands are skeptical, especially because they haven't rehearsed in ages. But definitely getting interstate bands coming like to Melbourne or to Sydney or whatever. They're always skeptical to go interstate, which is, I mean, fair enough. But people like bands don't want to commit to so much these days. But it is what it is. There are some bands that are really keen to just get out there and play, which there'll be more of. But actually, a lot of bands turn me down. Okay.
All right.
Just that fear of the unknown thing because of the environment we're in.
So what'd you say?
Was it just because of the fear of the unknown? It's just too hard to count on being able to travel or be able to go out and whatnot?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The scare of being stuck somewhere or something getting postponed or cancelled. But I think the biggest setback for me with bands were bands that weren't ready to play yet. So, they didn't want to commit to something they couldn't put 100% into, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we went about almost, I think, 10 or 11 months without rehearsing or seeing each other before our first show, and it was really tough getting back into things. So that's understandable.
Yeah. Just going to quickly jump to some comments. Got some people coming through here, Nikki, and then I'll throw back to you. Nudes, our regular friend Nudes is gone. Hi, guys. So hello to Nudes. And he's also saying, it's awesome there's a gig in Darwin. Is it Fuck's Age? I don't know. Or an awesome band. I don't know if I'll get that name right. I apologise. What else we got here? Dean, another regular on Facebook. Hey, Andrew, Nikki, and Tom, a great entertainment company. Well, hopefully you're enjoying this one too. Sorry, Mark Roberts has gone, Tommy, you're legend. So there's someone who's in your camp there.
Mark,
Yeah, and Rautism, who are meant to be playing the Melbourne show, are going to be doing the EP launch at that one.
Yeah.
They're saying pay-per-view Metal United Under. That'll be rad. They've joined us on YouTube over there. Another regular of ours, Helen on Facebook, has jumped in to say, I suspect bands caught in border limbo, particularly young families, plays a big part, which, yes, I imagine that would be a big deal to do with as well. And another regular, Sally, is jumping in to say hello as well. So hello, Sally. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Yeah, I'll finish cutting in there. So over to you again, Nikki.
No, you know, as you were. So obviously we have lots of people watching tonight that are people that watch our show to check out music and see what's going on. But obviously we have a lot of people in bands that are watching. So for the people that are in bands, Tom, what does a band need to do to be considered on a Metal United lineup? Like, is there a way they can approach you? Are you scary? Do you bite? Is there a criteria or a certain sound you're looking for?
I do bite sometimes. It's pretty much just we got the Metal United Down Under Facebook page. Send us an email there. If I'm looking for bands in a particular city, if I'm struggling to find bands, I always put up on the Facebook page or even the Black Roos page. I'll put up application links or whatever to my email. And yeah, so I'll end up, I think next year I'll put more applications out. I'll pretty much just put a big post, these are the cities or something like that. And this is my email, send me an email. But yeah, I'm always happy to take on applications for bands. I'm still getting applications now for the show, and it's in a couple of days. So if I can't fit your band into a bill, pretty much you've got your name here there. I've got the name of the band there now on the list, and I just consider it for my show. So
beautiful.
More bands I know of, better, because I'm always happy to help out newer bands and stuff too. So I like to consider it.
Nice. Very cool. I just put the link to that to the Facebook page in the comments there too. So that's the best way to hit up the guys. So once you go and check out that link, it's also in the description of this video as well. And so yeah, go and check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, one of the chapters or one of the side shows on this tour, I have to fucking ask you about this. It caught my eye the second I saw it. It's Newcastle. Stone Edition. Tell me more. This is fucking epic. So you've got Metal United Down Under with an offshoot, with a twist. Tell us about that.
Well, that one was actually, I have nothing to do with that one, actually. We wanted a show in Newcastle, and pretty much we knew someone putting on a show already. So, we just joined forces, and it was a bit of a stoner band, more doom kind of stuff, stoner riffs and that. So we threw another band on there, and they were keen to have us, and then we just put it on our poster, which is another thing too. If any other promoters are out there listening, and you're in a regional town or something, you have a show on our same date and stuff, and we're keen to link up and have you as part of Metal United Down Under.
Cool.
There you go. Freaking awesome. Let's all work together and make it amazing.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
So we have touched on it, but I'm going to probe a little deeper, and you might not have the answers, and that's totally understandable. Obviously, Melbourne's had to be postponed. At what point do you make the call? Because we don't even fucking know what's happening with lockdown. Let's be honest. We haven't been told what's happening until tomorrow or whatever. How late do you leave it before you make the call to postpone it? Because that must just be the worst thing.
Yeah, it was tough, and I feel like I left it. I wish I could have announced it like last week instead of so last minute, because I just announced it this afternoon. But pretty much, getting in touch with the venue and getting in touch with so I don't just postpone it and the venue has no idea. So I'm waiting, for them to get back in touch with me, and then getting in touch with all the bands, making sure they're all happy with the decision. Pretty much, it's a hard decision to do, but end of the day, they say the lockdown might be over on Friday. But then we got temperatures coming from New South Wales. They won't be able to enter with border restrictions. Bands haven't rehearsed in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
It's the best decision. Everyone was leaning towards postponing it, and it's the best we could do, I think.
And even if we do reopen, there might be restrictions. So you might have limited capacity in the venue, and that means that potentially everyone's bought a ticket still can't go anyway. And it's like, at least postponing it, we've got the chance of having a big full show with a full crowd and awesome lineup.
That's it. If it went ahead, that's what most of us were scared of. If it did go ahead, it turns out we can only have 25.5% capacity. It's not going to be worth it. We're wait a month or whatever, and then do it full steam ahead at its full capacity.
Yeah. Have you got a date in mind, or when you'd like to have it, or are you just sort of playing it a little bit by?
It's still early stages. Still going back and forth with venues, and it's always hard for so many bands to get available dates.
Yeah.
So we've gone back and forth a couple of times with dates now, but hopefully not too far away. Hopefully in the next month or two. So yeah, just got to try and make sure it's not clashing with existing shows as well. So it's always hard finding a new date.
Didn't even think of that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. A complete offshoot to that. Sorry to jump in, but is there a temptation to? You want to do it as soon as possible, and I fully understand that. But is there a flip side to that where you think maybe aiming for summer in Victoria because the chances of going to lockdown and that are a bit reduced in that regard? Does that play into your mind at all, or is that just not a consideration at this stage?
I mean, it always comes to the mind. You can push it back further and further. If that's what at the moment, it's really hard because everyone wants to go out and gig now. All promoters want to put shows on. A lot of venues are booked out. So, like in Canberra, they're booked out for the rest of the year. So it's half there. Sydney, we just announced a show now because one of the Melbourne shows had to pull out in Sydney. So, we're lucky enough to get a new venue there and just put it up last minute. But it's pretty much just to see when venues are available. If we have to push it far enough, to summer or whatever, we just have to do what we got to do. But it's not looking to be that far away. We should be able to get it, in before August. I think that's the best way to do it because I do have a lot of plans, and we've got a lot of plans for later in the year too. So we don't want to clash with them either.
Yep.
Cool.
And this is a dumb question, but I'm talking from a dumb hunter point of view. I'm not a musician and I'm not a promoter. Is it hard for you to not chuck Envenomed on every lineup, or do you just sort of have to yourself? Like, seriously, because you've got the best of both worlds going on.
I do for any Envenomed shows. I just do them myself now, and then I don't think I've ever put us on Metal United Down Under because I'm just so hectic trying to organise it all.
Yeah, true.
Lately I haven't even been putting this on because I can't be fucked, to be honest with you. But also, but we got a lot of gigs. We're trying to spread our, gigs out in each city. We've got to try to schedule them. So if we got something coming up too soon to the show, we don't want to be greedy.
Did I see you've got Sydney in July? Did I see that, or am I tripping balls?
No, you're not tripping.
Oh my God, I feel like I saw something for Sydney in July. Is that with a local crew? Did I see Katana Cartel maybe on that?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm actually booking the album launch tour for Katana Cartel at the moment. So they invited us up to Sydney. So we're headlining the Sydney show, and we got Livewire, which is a really sick speed metal band from Sydney, and then Dark Order 2, which is a really good thrash band from Sydney.
Cool. Yeah.
So that'll be a really cool show, and then we've got a follow-up show for that in regional New South Wales too, which will soon be announced also.
Awesome.
Very nice. Gonna quickly jump in. Sorry, Natasha Laurie from YouTube has jumped in with a eyes on the heart emoji. She did that a little while ago, but Helen's. Sorry, mate.
Oh, that's my partner.
Yeah, I thought as much.
That was very familiar. I'm like, I've seen that fine lady at a gig by your side. I have.
But Helen jumped in with a quick question. Metal is now pretty diversified. Can you define the criteria? Basically, this is going back to what you were talking before about, what to sort of try to get onto the, what is the genre, I guess, more or less, that you're looking for when it comes to these shows that you're putting on this weekend?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat? I was reading the question and not listening to
Okay,
you.
no, sorry. I'll bring it back up for you. Metal is now pretty diversified. Can you define the criteria? It's a sincere question.
Yeah.
So I think that's to do with, the type of metal you're looking for that's going onto the bills. Yep.
So pretty much we don't want, it's always good to have a good, diverse lineup. But yet again, you can't have a metalcore band playing with a black metal band. It just doesn't work. So like now I've got now I'm booking a lot of the shows myself. I'm doing like Adelaide more death metal, and then same thing in Brisbane. They're more death metal. In Melbourne, I kind of kept to the traditional metal, thrash metal kind of theme, and I always try to keep them in the same kind of genre. But I do like to put some standouts in there that switch it up a bit, which is always cool. I think it's just the way it works best.
Yep.
And I find it a good way to help bands go interstate too. I like doing that a lot too.
Yep.
So I helped out a few bands that I know that wouldn't fit the Melbourne band, but I said, hey, if you're keen to go to Brisbane, I'll put you on Brisbane. So that's just a win-win for everyone. I've got an extra band on that bill, and then helps them out, and they're going on tour too. So yeah,
nice, cool, nice.
Yeah, long story short, I don't want too much diversity that it's strange, but I do like, mix it up a little bit and, keep it interesting.
Yep.
If all the bands sound the same, people get bored, so yeah.
Cool.
Now, what does it mean to you when a band chooses a Metal United lineup as an example as their EP launch, as I know a certain band will be doing soon? Is that a bit of a compliment to you guys that they see this as a real good opportunity to get that out there and piggyback on what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good insight, that we're doing a good job at least, and they think it's worthy of them launching their album or their EP, which is pretty cool. We've got a few bands doing that now on shows. Melbourne had 3 launches, so Temptress, Katana, and then the Autism EP launch. Yeah, it was really good. It's a good way to get touring bands down here too. If a band's looking, if they're on tour and they don't have a Melbourne date, chuck them on board. That's what we do with Temptress, and then it's the album launch. And it's always, I think for them too, it's more than just the album launch. It's Metal United Down Under event as well. Yeah. So it just brings 2 together and makes one bigger event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I went, oh yeah.
Here we go. We got our first lockup.
Different
Nikki, give me a second.
Have different amounts of. Sorry.
Hang on, Nikki. Hold on a second. We're starting to get you back. You're starting to come back. While we wait for Nikki's internet to not shit itself again, Helen jumped in. I know you're back now. Helen jumped in before saying it's good to be a conduit and a referral. Just wanted to say, yeah, I agree with that, and it's nice to hear you, putting in your bit there to help the other bands out where you can. It's really good to, we know you, we know you're a nice bloke, but it's good to have that out there more, that people can see that for themselves here too. And and on YouTube, stuff for the even you were playing in Port Pirie, South Australia Saturday, frothing for it. So there you go. There's some bands are definitely keen for this one. So get amongst people. Okay, Nikki, I think you're back now. So what were you trying to say before?
Well, the funny thing was I never died. Like mine stayed. I could see you and you're going, we've lost you. I'm like, I'm here. Anywho, it's not about me. I've totally fucking forgotten my question. That's how good it was. How good is that? All right. So different cities have different numbers of bands on the lineup. So some lineups might be like 5 bands, some might be 9. Port Pirie's fucking insane. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's hectic. Are they 1 day or 2 day, or how does that work? Or just multiple stages?
All day, yeah. Port Pirie will probably just run all day. I think Port Pirie is 1 stage or maybe 2. But Dan's a maniac. He always gets an epic lineup together. Always stupid amount of bands, and it's always crazy. But one year he got bloody Domino's Pizza as a sponsor, and just got every band on town.
the man. I think Dan should be our new premier. He might be a bit more exciting than our Dan. Got nothing against Dan Andrews, but I'm Domino's to sponsor a fucking show. Just saying. Lift your game, Dan. Lift your game. All right. I got a question for you, Tom. Don't know how much you can tell us about it, but I'm going to fucking ask anyway. Tell us what you can about Deaf Forever. I'm seeing stuff, but I don't know anything.
So Deaf Forever is just our latest nightclub we just announced, me and Michael, through Black Roos Entertainment. We've been working on this for a while now. We just kind of, decided it was the right time to announce. After, going through multiple logos and just wanting to get it right, we finally, found our home. And so pretty much it's our nightclub we're aiming to run Australia-wide. So it'll be a live band venue. We'll have about, 3 or 4 bands, and we'll have a couple of DJs for the night, giveaways and things like that. We saw different ones pop up around the country. We just thought we'd make it a little bit different. We want to participate the crowd a bit more too with giveaways and, different activities and stuff, and just things, get the crowd involved more. So there'll be more of that to be announced too. But pretty much we're going to be announcing the grand opening tomorrow, which will be in Melbourne. Pretty much we're launching it in Melbourne, and we'll soon move to Sydney, and then spread all over Australia, and then stagger it months around Australia. And pretty much whoever's keen to have this would be keen to, put a show and, make a good night out of it.
Awesome. So you're going to announce some stuff tomorrow. Is that what I just heard?
That's right. We have a awesome band lineup in Melbourne, which will be coming shortly, and I'll announce that tomorrow. And it's definitely one to look out for. So if you're not following us on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, the Deaf Forever Nightclub. We have 4 bands and DJs and stuff like that, and it's going to be freaking awesome.
I'm going to lose my mind, aren't I? I already know it, and I don't even know who it is. I just know I'm going to lose my mind.
I made the lineup just for you, Nikki.
That's fraught with danger. I have put the link for the Facebook page up here as well, so you can check it out in the comments or check it out in the description. There's a link there for the Deaf Forever nightclub as well while we're talking about this sort of stuff. So get on that. Announcement coming tomorrow. Just to go back a little bit before we get moving on, Michael has jumped in to have a word saying the basic idea is that we have all genres of metal united down under, from hard rock to black metal. So that's the basics there for those that want to get involved in that.
That's Black Roos too.
Yes, that is. The Black Roos stuff is in the description for this too. Right after midnight, on your Tommy, absolute gun. So there's some more positive words for you.
That's Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
we got Helen jumped in to say before, thank Christ Frank Stavala stepped aside. So that's an interesting one there. But also, she's also asked an interesting question here. From your point of view, is there an audience that metal gets in one state and prefer to play more than another? So I guess maybe because you target audiences with different things. Do you find there's a particular? You said before Melbourne, you tend to stick to the more traditional forms, and the other ones have more aggressive forms, I guess. So is there? What's the thinking there? Is that a deliberate targeted thing because the market is there, or is it just you do it for the fun of it?
It's pretty much some bands that I can get on board. It's just it's all random pretty much. It's not planned at all. I think every state every city loves all genres. And we try to mix it up as much as possible. And as Michael said, we want all genres, participating in the event. But yeah, pretty much some cities I could only get death metal bands, so we just base it around that. Yeah. Some, I try to get a power metal gig together, and there's no power metal bands available, so you got to go to something else. But yeah, as it's never set in stone. Always keen to have all different bands and then mix it up. It's always good. But I try not to. If one city does get, a particular genre in particular, you try not to do the next year the same, you've got to mix it up.
Yeah.
Very nice. There you go, Nikki. Back to you. Sorry, I just kept jumping in there.
Oh, you're fine. Well, to be honest, it was quite funny because my internet actually did die in the ass. But fortunately, I could hear Tom's dulcet tones. Thank the Lord for that. Okay, so I've asked you about, if a band wanted to get involved, what would they do? We've pretty much covered this is all over Australia. What if there's someone out there who might be a promoter or a venue who would like to have I'll call it a chapter. I call them chapters. I don't know why, I just do. Like, what if there was like a pub in Warrandyte that went, I want to fucking host a Metal United Down Under gig. I can pull some people. We can get this happening. Is it kind of open to any venue Australia-wide if there's somewhere like Tassie, for example,
Yep, absolutely, yeah. I welcome that. Absolutely anyone. And if anyone's keen to jump on board, promoters or anything, we're more than happy to have, the more shows the merrier. More people involved, it's always better. Tassie, we usually have, 2 shows at least on Tassie, and then Launceston and Hobart. But yeah, it doesn't matter where you're from. You could be from a little town in the middle of nowhere, and we're happy to have you. You'll be playing to your cattle in the farm. It doesn't matter.
I might have one in Frankston. I reckon I might know some peeps in bands. Too busy doing your shows. Might have a Franger one. Franger in the backyard, mate. Sure. Sick.
Definitely.
Oh, seriously, it's not about me. I know. I forget that sometimes. My bad. My bad.
Next year, you can get involved.
Yeah.
Frankston.
Okay.
Come on.
Mate, we used to have a club out here, the Rockstar Bar. Used to put on some random gigs. That's fucking
Rockstar
great.
Bar was sick.
I love the Rockstar Bar. Actually, I think I saw you there, as in Envenomed there.
Yeah.
I know, I definitely saw.
I don't think I was in the band at that point, but yeah, they played there with Espionage. Yeah.
It fucking was. I did the merch that night. It definitely was Envenomed. And there was a really cool band. I think they were called Guillotine, but never heard of them again. Gone.
Don't know if they're still around anymore. Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, so on the Black Roos kind of side, you guys do artist management too, is that right?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Do you have Ironstone on your roster? Did I see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely,
That's a pretty sweet catch.
Yeah, we've been working with Ironstone for Michael was doing promotion for ages, and Michael works really closely with them, and then I jumped on board with booking too, and we just matched like tomorrow. Annie, which is actually the mum of Edward. Yeah. She is the manager, and we work really tight with them, and with the boys, and it's always really good. And then I'll put them on for a show just after lockdown, and they just blew everyone away, and they're so good. And youngsters too, and every time I see them, they keep getting better and better. So that's why I got to try to keep them off the bill that I'm playing, because they just blow us off stage.
They're really good.
And they're great to work with.
Right after lockdown. Yeah.
Really good band, and they're really good to work for. Yeah, we've got quite a few bands on our roster now, and Snakebite Whiskey, who you mentioned before, on our booking roster now too. And
excellent. Yeah, I saw those crazy lads a month or so ago. It was very good times, and wish I was back to the Gold Coast for that show. That would have been a good chapter to get to as well.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Quick trip up to Gold Coast for some bands. Yeah, we just put two more bands up on the Gold Coast show, Stone Rising and Uncle Unit.
Yeah.
So 2 more bands. We had a band all out because we had some commitments I had to commit to. So we threw 2 more on there, and this should be a good night at Vinny's Dive. It'll be good.
Yeah, sick. That was one of the other lineups. Like when I sit there and go, I want to go to the mall, and you can't. I was looking at the Hidden Intent one in Broken Hill, and I was looking at Gold Coast as well, going, That's all I can say, Tom. I'll pay cash money for the stream.
We'll have to get you on a flight. You can see some bands in one city, quickly throw you on a flight.
Yeah. I can carry suitcase. I can be a little like assistant bitch. You know?
You can make her a roving reporter while we're at it as well. Just send her there with a phone. She can shoot some videos through to us, and we'll put it all together.
Well, yeah, that's it. Perfect.
Yeah, last time Brendan and I had GoPros at the extravaganza. Fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask
more of that.
Maybe if I wasn't drunk, it might have been usable. But anywho, yeah, no, details.
It always feels good at the time when you're filming and you're at a gig drunk and you're always filming. This is going to be awesome. And just look at it the next day and just, oh, shit.
Yep.
Every time.
You have no idea how much stuff I have in the archives, mate.
That's all right.
Yep.
So, can you ever see a post-COVID world where hopefully the international bands can come back and you can travel internationally as well? Would there ever be a goal or a vision in a post-COVID world to maybe have an international come over for Metal United Down Under?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, last year we had 2 international bands planned for a couple of shows, and that obviously got canned because of COVID. But yeah, we were planning a couple international bands to come and tour Australia, and they could play Metal United Down Under 2 in different cities. But yeah, it's definitely a good goal to get some bigger bands on board from overseas. It's always a big goal of ours.
And I'm pretty sure and maybe I'm tripping again, Tom, so you might have to correct the facts here. I'm pretty sure I got like a little CD sampler from the new the Wagga gig, a little Metal United CD sampler. Would I be imagining that, or is that for real?
That's Michael put together CDs. I think 2018 was the last one he did.
Yeah.
And because he's German too, whenever he goes over to Wacken and stuff, he sells it in the markets here and stuff too. It's just a good way to get bands out and get some more exposure. In 2019 and 2020, we did a digital version of that through Bandcamp. So we had a bunch of bands enter, and we had about, I think, 12 or 15 on each compilation, all Australian bands. So it's just a good way to get more.
Is that still available to purchase?
I don't know if there's any CDs left, but the digital ones from 2019 and 2020, they're still available on the Black Roos Bandcamp, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Because that's a good way to taste something that you might not have heard before, because like I'm looking at your lineups across the country, and there's certainly bands I've seen and I've got their stuff, bands I haven't seen and I've got their stuff, and there's a lot that I would love to explore that I don't know yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And for me especially, sorting through, getting different orders of the CD, going through all the songs, I found so many bands, all the bands that applied for it. There's so much more music got to listen to, and new bands that are now following. Yeah, it's really cool.
So I'd be a fool not to ask while I've got you. We wanted to talk to you about lots of stuff. Obviously, with COVID, it's made life a bit tricky, but Envenomed, is there any news in that camp you can share with us? Anything going on behind the scenes?
We do have a new show we're announcing this week. And then we do have some later stuff later in the year and some more interstate stuff. And we may have a new film clip coming too, so keep an eye on that. But yeah, there's always stuff in the bank for Envenomed, and we've got a lot of stuff planned and what we want to do. We had pretty wicked European tour set up, and that luckily we pulled the pin on that before the whole COVID thing happened. So, but yeah, we're holding off for the international touring just for now. This is too risky for this year, at least. But yeah, I think this is a good opportunity for the Australian scene to really shine. Everyone's going to more Aussie shows, so we'll do a bit of an Australian tour later in the year and stuff like that.
Nice. Gonna quickly jump in again. Got some comments coming through. Nikki, can you do me a favor and I just want to try something because I'm getting a bit of an echo going on. Can you just try and turn down your speakers a little bit for me, just see if that is coming from your end? Because I have a suspicion it might be, but I just want to see if it is the fact or not. Thank you. You got this guilty look at face like no one knows any different until they say it's coming through. So it's all good.
Well, everyone fucking knows now.
Okay, it's probably mine.
It could be, but it's still there, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm trying to find who it is. I can go through and start muting people to find out for sure, but I don't want to go doing that one just yet.
You always fucking want an excuse to mute me. I finally found it.
Oh, no, I don't need an excuse. I've got the button here to do it. Just running through some more comments. So, Helen jumped in before to say, like, is it frustrating when it comes to booking big festival stuff you're doing, like to not get the choices you want either with your gut or on financial terms? Is there anything in that regard that's frustrating, or you just sort of move on and go to the next one? How does that work for you?
I guess if things don't go to plan, you always have this big, set in your heart that you want, someone to play, or you want it to work out something. If you want it to work out some way, and it doesn't end up happening, it's always disheartening, but I think the best way to do it is just, it's just a learning curve, and you just keep moving forward. And it's just I think you just find different ways to, plan events. I think it's just the best way. If, say you want your event to go some way, and then it doesn't work out that way, it's best just, you learn a different way to do things. And it's just, I think is best way, best to move on.
Yep, that's cool. Also, got some other ones here. So Sally's jumped in to say, fucking come to Warrandyte, she'll find you a venue. So that's one there. Continuing on the same vein here, Rautism. So I guess it's obviously Keith. He's jumped in going, the Singing Bird and Frankston can hold a Medal United and under. The only thing the Rockstar Bar can hold is a full lease sign. Well, yeah, there's a whole backstory with that. Well played there. What else we got here? I put the link in before for your band there too, mate. So people can go and check out Invenom. They got a lot of cool stuff there. So go and give them a follow too. All right. What do we got here? Tough, our good friend Tough on YouTube. No one can destroy the metal. The metal will strike you down with a vicious blow. We are the vanquished foes of the metal. We tried to win for why we do not know. So Tough likes to jump in with these little lyrical bits here and there every single time we do these ones, which is cool. So thank you for jumping in again, Tough. Benjamin Payne, our friend from New Zealand, he jumped in. Hey guys, Trouble's here. He's actually behaving himself tonight, so he's doing pretty well. What else?
Quiet tonight, suspiciously quiet. Benjamin, what do you want?
He actually put in, hey, wow, I'm actually behaving myself. So that's a bit of a thing there. Ryan Lamb jumped in to say he's still waiting for his Envenom patches with a little bit of a
I remember Ryan messaging me ages ago for Envenom patches. I've actually been planning them now that you speak of that. I'm actually getting off my ass and doing it.
A question from Benjamin Payne, though. Ever played in New Zealand, Tom? He's mentioned here Valhalla Bar in Wellington. Do you know Ben Mulchin? So there's a couple of questions there for you. Do they ring any bells for you?
Ben Mulchin, I don't know if that name rings a bell. I've got so many names I get told. And I don't know. But no, I haven't been to Wellington. I haven't played in New Zealand. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to try. And I guess now that we've got a travel bubble, maybe we can do that. So maybe it's something to plan.
Cool. Sure. Well, Benjamin's always giving us the goods over there, so he can link some people up before too. Now, this is an interesting idea that Helen's floated. Just quickly here, that's something she would like to see, and it might be something, I don't know if there's any room for this even in your nightclub setup, or if it's just something that's not feasible. Something like a junior metal battle of the bands kind of thing. There's venues and ideas in that regard. Does that sort of stuff interest you at all? Like putting on, even if it's not a battle of the bands for me, but trying to get some more of the younger bands. How hard is that to do you think?
That's a really good idea, actually. I'd really love to do like an underage event or something. That'd be really cool, just to get, I guess it's always cool seeing all age events, but seeing younger people at shows too whenever there is an all age event. I think it's always rare to find all age gigs nowadays, I think. Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but no, I think licensing and stuff is pretty tough now, and there's not many venues that do that now. But I've played a few all-age festivals now, And it's always cool. Like you get toddlers in there, you get teenagers, you get, you know, all sorts of ages. It's really cool vibe. So maybe that is something to look into, like a battle of the bands, or, you know, get some under 18 bands in from schools and stuff. A pretty cool way to do things. I think that's a good idea.
All right, cool. No, Helen's jumped in. She's got a venue in mind, very accommodating. So hopefully, Helen, you can reach out to Tom there, and then hopefully you guys can start touring. And Benjamin going through the links again, saying Valhalla Touring is the one you want to hit up for the New Zealand side of things. Perfect. There too. So there's some information for you. Nikki, I've probably taken up more time for you, but whatever you want to ask next.
No, I'm actually digging the underage thing still, because one of the things I noticed with the Metal United is I think it was Broken Hill is an all ages gig at a footy club. Is it Broken Hill one?
Yep, Broken Hill, yeah.
Actually, we probably should touch on some of these venues, because we talked about the cities, but I never actually talked about where they're playing. So let's test Nikki's memory. It's going to be pretty bad, Tom. Canberra is the basement, if I remember correctly. Oh, mate, this is fucking scary shit. Adelaide was Enigma Bar. Gold Coast, I've totally forgotten. Tavern Inn something?
Is that Vinny's Dive?
That's what I meant. Brisbane. Can't remember the venue for Brisbane. My apologies.
Brisbane will be at the Flaming Galah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Flaming Galah. Fucking what a name. Oh, no. No, seriously, it's fucking awesome. I wish I thought of that. Newcastle. I don't know the name of the venue at Newcastle.
That's at the Hamilton Station.
Hamilton Station. Port Pirie.
That's at, let me check. We'll go back to that one. Is it the Footy Club, I think?
With all bands. Like, that lineup is actually humongous. I reckon that is going to be fucking part of the
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy. Port Pirie is always an epic lineup, and it always goes off. So really good.
Okay, I'm going to ask a really dumb question, and I'm quite prepared to be shamed right now. You guys can give me shit. Where is it? What part of Australia is it in?
Port Pirie is in South Australia. I think it's about an hour or so from Adelaide.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much. Well, fucking man, South Australia is the home of metal. I'm sorry, but I really think it is. It's just fucking awesome.
Here we go. Everyone in the comments going off on the.
That might get Nikki blamed in the comments. That'll be interesting, considering how vicious it's been lately in the state versus state nonsense.
It's fine. Like, I do think everything I see out of South Australia, I just fucking love. We got
South Australia's great.
Perth, we got Darwin, Sydney. Yeah, the Sydney show. Did you say the Sydney show was only announced like today?
Yep. Literally announcing it tonight. We couldn't find a venue to save our lives. So it's now at the Crowbar. They had a show pull out, and so we're lucky enough to get a slot. And then we got 5 bands quickly together, and we got Terrorential, which is a thrash band from New South Wales, headlining, and a few other bands. And we got a DJ as well on that one. So 5 bands and a DJ at Crowbar. This Saturday, so if you've got nothing in Sydney, go for that.
Yep.
Fountain of Euthanasia. That sounds like someone I need to listen to. I don't know that, but that name is getting me. I'm like, that's got my interest.
Yeah, they're brand new. They're from Newcastle, and they just joined our booking roster for Australia. So we're looking after their bookings now, and they're a brand new band, and we just threw them on the bill and get them out gigging, and yeah, they're a really cool band.
Fuck yeah, get your asses down there, Sydney people. That's amazing. Nah, seriously, like I truly admire you. I don't know how the fuck you coordinate all this shit. I really, really, absolute props to you. I can't imagine the nightmare you went through too, because
once you're in it, you're kind of in it. You don't really look up for air too much, do you?
No, you just got to hope for the best.
That's pretty much how it works. Benjamin from New Zealand has jumped in with a whole bunch of bands. He's rattled off here. Do you guys know of Organectomy, Blindfold and Led to the Woods, Sonate, 8 Foot Sativa? Yes, I know that band. Scorn of Creation, Dark Divinity. They're all great New Zealand bands. So if anyone out there in the metal world knows those bands, let us know what you think. But Tom, have you heard any of those ones in particular? Or
I don't think any of them in particular. I think the main one I know is my mate's band, Stalker. They're really cool.
Yeah.
They're touring later in the year here. There's a few cool bands that I've seen come out of New Zealand, but yeah, Stalker's the main standout for me. They're my favourite, at least.
So when because you've got the booking side of things that you're doing now as well. Just as a random side note here, like I always think the future is bright, and it seems like that you're getting a lot more. If I'm wrong, then correct me, but it seems like there's a few younger bands on your roster, which is really cool. And for me, it kind of, I always look at it and go, okay, if the next generation's already coming through, that's a really good sign. I think that's well and truly there. What are the fun parts of working with the bands that are a bit younger and less jaded, so to speak? And what are the ones you're most excited about at the moment?
I think Ironstone's definitely the one I'm most excited about. I think they've got a really big future ahead of them, and they're working really hard. The younger bands are always really interesting to play, work with, in a good way. See their progression over the years, or even months. You see them play a gig, in February, and you see them play in March. They're so much better. Every gig, you get more confident. Another band I have my eyes on is Shredder. They're a thrash band from Melbourne, so they're buddies of mine. I like to put them on a lot of bills, and they're really good. And again, I like seeing the progression in the business side of things as well, managing their own band, how they're managing things. You hit them up the first time if they want to play a show, and they have no idea what they're doing, and then they've started playing a few more shows and they know exactly what to do, send you the logo, this is all the information you need and stuff like that, the way they promote it and stuff. It's really cool to see their progression. I think that's really fun. The fun part of, working with new bands.
Yep.
For sure.
And as a general question here, because you do a lot you're in a band yourself, you help do these live festival shows, you now booking and sort of managing bands or whatever else. So what's a general tip you've got for bands out there that are trying to get themselves out there a bit more? Because you wear a lot of hats. So what's, your overall view on things? What's some of the things that bands probably don't do enough of or could do to help them get out there a bit more?
Talk to as many people as you can.
Yep.
Either add them on Facebook, get their email or whatever. Just start conversation with people. Make friends with people and don't make enemies. Even if you don't like them, be friends with them. If you hate someone, don't tell them you hate them. You just don't want to look bad. Just try to talk to as many people as you can and learn as much as you can. Just soak it all up. Being in the right place at the right time is a very big factor as well, a lot of things. But, best you can do is just talk to as many people as you can. Be welcoming. Try and involve yourself with as much as you can and just take on as much as you can and just take every opportunity you can.
Yep. Nice. Well, Nikki, I'm sure you got some questions there. Go on.
Something Tom said right there, such sound advice. Cancel culture. Dave Ellefson, anything. Is there something a band could do that would make you not book them, not touch them, not even fucking go there? Is there, or do you try to keep the off-stage shit off-stage, and if their music rocks, you'll give them a shot?
If they're a piece of shit, I'm not going to book them.
There you go. Great advice. Comment.
If I don't want to support them, then I won't support them. But if it's little banter, playground shit over Facebook, arguments and stuff, I'll look over that. It's not worth doing. But, if it's someone that's really putting a bad picture on themselves and, there's someone that's really, piece of work, then I'm not going to book them at all. But, cancel culture is a bit of controversial subject, I guess. But you know, if someone's a shit person, or there's the band's not where I want to go, then I'm not gonna book them. I'm not gonna support them. But if it's just, I see a lot of childish things on Facebook now. You know, arguments here and there. I don't try to involve myself with that. And I don't think that's worth putting people down for.
Yeah. What do you think of What do you think of Ellison getting kicked out of Megadeth? Do you think he should have stayed, or do you think they were right to kick him out?
Here we go.
This is another thing I tell people to don't talk politics and don't talk controversial subjects on the internet. But,
you going to play Switzerland there, are you?
There's two ways. I mean, the court hasn't solved. You know, the court hasn't said anything, so I'm not going to go out of my way to bag him out or anything. But there's sides. There's things that I've seen that says it's probably a good way to go. And then he says some things that says he might be all right, but who knows? I won't say anything until something's official and I'm no rumors and stuff. I don't listen to that shit. But I mean, it's fair enough if Mustaine wants to fire him in a business point of view. It's just a bad image looking towards his band. If he doesn't want that in his band, he doesn't want it in his band. It's up to him. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Ellison being one of my favourite bassists of all time. Yeah. To see him, leave the band, but one of my favourite bands ever. But who am I to comment on it?
Nikki's trying to find back up because she and I disagree on this.
Opposites on this one. And the funny thing is, I'm probably not on the side everyone would expect the girl to be on, but I am in this case. So I think it's bullshit. I think he should stay in the band. Let the music speak for itself. Off-air shit, that's between him and his wife. They can fucking work it out. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. We're going to go over some pretty old ground there, Nikki, pretty quickly. We're just re-tilling that soil again. I know you got a vent, but we're going to move on. I'm going to go to some audience comments here before it does go. I'm firing off on the other comments there. David James jumped in to say, love your work, guys and girls. So thank you for tuning in. It's good to have you here with us. Jordan Adam, who's another local promoter, he's gone, good effort, Tom. These shows sound great. So thank you for jumping in and giving us some positive feedback there. It's nice to have that here. Here we go. Helen DiMartino, because she saw a band. What was the band she talked about before? Forgive me for a minute here. Doomsday Pilots. She saw a bunch of young kids, 17-year-olds at Cherry Bar, and she was blown away by them. But she's also jumped in saying, never underestimate what young minds see, hear, and take away from a gig. Been to a buttload of wide-eyed musicians in awe and humbled at the front row. So, yeah, that's very, very true. You see some really cool things.
Absolutely.
And Sally jumped in with your comment before saying true, and adding to that, interact with punters online. Anyone responds to kindness, and I think that's a general rule in life. But yeah, it's a good one for bands to keep in mind there as well. Yeah. What else we get? Okay, cool. So yeah, now people are getting into it on the comments about the other stuff. So I'm going to leave that alone for now. We've had the Ellison
started the arguments.
For what it's worth, Nikki. Someone agrees with you, so there you go. Just to put people in the frying pan or fire, so to speak. So because we are running out of time here, we're going to go over it very shortly. But what is it you'd like to say to the people that are tuning into this and thinking of going on the weekend to all the shows and that out there? So what you've got a platform, you use it. What do you want to say to people out there?
Pretty much, thanks for watching. Follow our stuff, obviously, but more of, most importantly, go and get involved in the shows, go to as many shows as you can. Metal United Down Under is a very good way to do it, and the same with the nightclub coming up. We're going to have a lot of different things coming up. It's just a good way to see new bands and get involved in the scene. And, if you're keen for next year to get involved, hit us up on Facebook or whatever. But, yeah, don't be scared of new experiences. Go check out new bands, do all the new things, have fun, and be cool. I guess.
Yep. That's cool. All right, Nikki, do you have any things you want to go to before we do wrap this up?
I just wanted to say a massive thank you to Tom for coming on and speaking to us. I'm really stoked that you did come and have a chat about all the different things. Thank you for what you do for our scene, not just as an amazing musician, but for the shows you put on and for the lineups you support and the bands you support. It is appreciated, Tom, and thank you for sharing your wisdom. And thank you for Metal United Down Under. It's just, my God, so much talent out there. Really excited for all these gigs. Can't wait to see the feeds on people that are at those gigs.
It's gonna be awesome.
Seeing their photos, seeing their video. Awesome. It's going to be sick. So thank you for what you do for our music scene. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, Nikki. You do a lot too, and it's always good seeing you out and about. And it's always good talking to you guys. It's awesome.
Awesome. No, well, I'll just echo what Nikki said there. And you are doing a lot, and it would take a lot of hours out of your day too. So to you and to also Natasha, who was obviously a big support to you personally, I would imagine. Then yeah, no one ever does it alone. So to you and to your better half, then yeah, well done. Congrats on everything you've done so far. Here's to much more in the future, and if we can help you out at all, then yeah, just let us know. I'm notoriously hard to get a hold of. So Nikki's probably a better point of contact than I am in that regard. But you've got the details or anyway. But yeah, no, thanks for taking the time, especially this week with everything going on. It'd be hectic for you. But yeah, thanks for jumping in tonight and having a chat with us. It's great.
No worries, man. Cheers for having me. Always welcome. Always happy to join, and it's always great talking to you guys.
Yep. Likewise, we'll have to hopefully make it so we can do it face to face in person at some point in the future when all this shit's over and done with.
Oh, for sure, man. I'll be keen to come to your joint and have a
chat. All right. So I think we'll start to wrap it up there. Is that right, Nikki? I think we're about done, are we?
We are, but yeah, I'm seriously hanging for tomorrow night's announcement. I'm sure I'm going to fucking lose my mind at whatever it is you're about to say.
I'm not letting anything loose.
No, I'm not asking you to.
I wouldn't either.
I might ask you about the appropriate Megadeth questions, but I won't push you on this. And we'll totally be talking about it on the Gig Guide, I'm sure, because Andrew's brought back the Gig Guide, so I'm sure this will absolutely get a run on it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if it doesn't, you're going to neck me anyway. So, yeah, it's going to get a run.
It's going to get a run. Awesome stuff. Cheers.
All right, beautiful. Well, thanks again for your time, and thank you to everyone out there for jumping in and getting in the comments. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun, as always. We'll see you all again next Tuesday for another interview. Who have we got next Tuesday, Nikki?
We've got Keith from Autism.
Yeah.
And you might know Tom.
Yes.
Hi, Keithy.
Awesome.
I'll be tuning in for that.
Yep, and on Thursday night, we've got another stream coming up of ourselves, and then another one coming up on Sunday night as well. So everyone knows the routine. It's Sundays and Thursdays for us, Tuesdays, the interviews that we do. So make sure you're tuning in for those ones. There'll be much more to come in the near future. But again, thank you, Tom, for your time tonight. Thank you, everyone, for jumping in. It's time for us to say farewell. So on that note, I'll start logging off of the different platforms. Thanks, everyone, for jumping in. First to go, as always, is Twitter. So we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Next up is we say goodbye to YouTube.